Hi everybody, Tim Bartz here, your Ford video guy. And in this video, it's going to be basically I did an interview for Bronco Nation at Bronco Supercell, and I thought maybe some of my followers and such would enjoy that video. And so here you go. So this is a video from the interview that I did at Bronco Supercell. It was a fun interview with them, with Jordan and Laura there. And I'd say interview, but they just kind of picked my brain on some things, on what I think and such, and answered a couple questions in the chat, which not many of them I was able to answer because it's things that I don't really know. But I thought maybe you guys would enjoy this interview, so check it out. Hope you guys enjoy it. Again, thank you very much for for following me. So hope you guys enjoy this little interview. So, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Don't forget, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell as well, so you can be notified when we have another video. So I think you guys will enjoy. So here you go. Here's this video from Bronco Super Celebration with Bronco Nation.
Well, next we have a guy you probably all know very well, Tim Bartz, Ford video guy. If he wants to come over, and Matt will let you trade seats with him. But Laura, who is Tim? We'll let him introduce himself in a little bit. But for those who don't know, give us some context here.
So Tim is one of our very valued community members in the entire Bronco community, and the forums are where I first learned about Tim. I'm not too much of a YouTube video watcher, but everybody kept talking about this guy, Tim Bartz. Tim Bartz, he does these live streams, they're so helpful. So I'm like, I gotta check this guy out. So I went on YouTube, went to Long MacArthur and looked up your guys' live streams. And Tim, why don't you tell us about Ford Video Guy and what you do on those? I know most of the people in our chat know you, but they'll be excited to see your face and hear about what you do on here.
All right, so I am the internet manager at a Ford dealer in Salina, Kansas, Long MacArthur Ford, and I've been doing videos, walk-around videos, complete guide videos and such on the different models, including Bronco when it launched since 2015, and started a live stream about, well, let's see, we're 88 episodes in now in a row, so that's over a year of doing those, and so we just, in our live streams, we just help out the person that's out there that has that order in, has an order placed, wants information. So we talk about what models are scheduling. So hey, do they need to even look and see if there's going to get scheduled and that kind of thing. And if there's something on their order that's maybe a constraint, it lets them kind of clue into that and saying, hey, if you took this off, then maybe you can get scheduled and that kind of thing. And keeping
parallel parking,
on what's going on the dealer level and such. Can just kind of help it out. And then live Q&A.
Yeah, you've got a great community over there. Welcome. Mentioned that Sarah, who can't be here, Sarah Davis, his daughter, she's going to be starting to do some more things on Friday. You want to talk about that a little bit and where people can find that?
We do have a membership on our channel. So those that are a member, it's just $5. And we do a special member live video with them. And there's usually 100 people in there of our members. And we do a live stream with them and answer questions. It's kind of we bounce ideas from them for what we use on our live streams and other video content and that kind of thing. So it's just kind of a fun little time. But
it definitely is. And so for people who can't make it out to events, it's always fun to have these virtual communities where you can have people that you're excited to see in the chat. Like you guys come here for our live stream. And so you guys drove out here from Kansas. What was that like? Why did you come to Supercell? Why did you make the trek?
Well, I really wish I'd come last year. I wanted to, and schedule-wise, it didn't work out. And I was like, okay, this year I've got to make it because I've been hearing for the last year how awesome it was and everything. And so I just wanted to come out and bring my own Bronco. I actually had toyed around with flying in and seeing if I could borrow a Bronco,
yes.
jokingly. But I said, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to drive the Bronco out. And so it was a great time. First time my wife's had vacation during the school year. She's a teacher, and so it was a time for the two of us to get on the road and make the trip out here with the Bronco. And I also want to take off road, so I'm hopefully join you guys tomorrow and take my Bronco off road for the first time.
And we've got other side. Let's see. I always get reversed. We've got Tim's Bronco 2 from the end over there next to the Eruption Green. And what do you have? You have a black diamond?
No, I actually I practice what I preach. I have a 4-door Big Ben cloth top 2.3, and I've added the Roush package. I've switched out the grill to added rock rails. I've done a bunch of things to it to make it what I want. So I was able to get it quickly. But yet then customize it to the specifications that I wanted. So
good, that's awesome. And for everybody else who is coming in from the various areas too, it's great to be able to have the clubs out here, the virtual clubs. We just have a lot of fun activities. So if you haven't been to one of these events and you do feel like it's worth making, how many hour drive was it? 14-hour drive. You're going to see a lot of friendly faces, whether you're going to do a virtual one for when you can't make it, and then when you come out for the clubs, it's a fantastic time. Did we have any questions that were coming up for Tim in the forum?
There was one, on the heritage that I might now switching topics to, I think, your day job more. Let me find it. I think it was maybe what's the holdup on heritage or something along those lines. Possibly.
I did hear people saying rumors of the top. Have you heard anything on that?
I have
pull
not.
it back up.
Okay.
So
If you guys have any questions for Tim, leave them in the super chat. But I'm going to find. Any
Ford hasn't
intel?
released it. It's just rumors.
Any intel on the delay of the Heritage Edition? Most of us have been pushed back about 2 months.
In actually getting scheduled and getting built. Is that what they're talking
Yeah,
about?
they've got
Question
their
was from
bid, and then their
William,
build date
yeah.
is
I
pushed
mean,
back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to tell. I mean, you never know. I mean, it could be parts. It could be, more than likely it's, part availability and such. I know they were trying to schedule as many of those as they could out, and so it wouldn't be surprised if they scheduled them out and then now they need to move them around to fit in, because they, we don't really know what the production, numbers are, like how many their capacity is on those. I mean, so they haven't released that, and like I know right now about 10% of the orders, probably shouldn't forget percentages, but about 10% of the orders are Heritage Editions, but we just don't know what their capacity is. So I mean, it's just probably going to take a little while to get those.
Tim Kiley asks, "Hey Tim, how are the customer builds rolling in? Are you catching up on the old orders?"
For us, we have all but, I think actually our last one's going to schedule today.
Oh wow!
So
Nice.
everything else, and we had some new orders that were put in on the 27th of March that scheduled today. So,
And that is one thing being here. I mean, we weren't here last year, but at some of the events previous, there's always a touchy subject of, hey, do you have your Bronco yet? And this is the first year where
Oh, I don't think I've even asked that yet. I didn't even think to ask it yet.
Oh yeah, so I think this year a lot of people, well, everyone I've talked to has their Bronco finally, which has been nice to see, and I do think it is catching up.
yeah, and I mean most of everybody, hopefully has either made some changes or whatever. I mean, we had one that was waiting on a wild track, and they found one at a dealer, and he went ahead and purchased them and canceled his order so someone else could get theirs. I mean, so hopefully people are finding them either out there that people didn't take, or something. And we've actually helped
Spider.
We've helped a couple of people that didn't take their wild.
And for people who just ordered, or people who, because there's going to be a whole new wave of people who aren't day one or hour one reservation holders. I know you see this a lot on your channel, but for people who may be crossing over for the first time, advice, things to do, not do.
Just take a look at what the the capacity is and the constraints, and if you're not willing. I know a lot of people are like, nope, I want mine built the way it's built, and that's great. Just be willing to wait if that's the case, because their capacity is what it is. I mean, and also keep in mind, if you're wanting to get a Bronco and you're open to that, look at getting a 4-door with a claw top. I mean, because there are not that many orders in there right now, and you could probably order now and get jumped over a bunch of other people, because Ford can only build so many hard tops. They need to build some cloth tops. They have the availability, so they're going to be looking for orders for like that. And if they don't have them, I mean, that's how, I mean, I said that for us, we only had a couple people that had a cloth top, and I said, I can almost guarantee you're going to probably get scheduled the first month, and I think they scheduled today.
Wow.
I mean, because everybody else has a hard top, so just, it's difficult because you want what you want, but just you look at all the Broncos that are here. Everybody has customized their Bronco.
Yeah.
They're modular, so you can do all kinds of things. When it comes to suspension and such, I get that, but I mean, these are pretty capable, and I mean, unless you're really if you're wanting the wheel and tire from the Sasquatch, there's all kinds of options out there on aftermarket, but if you
we sell the Sasquatch wheels now.
Yeah.
So I mean, hopefully people are flexible so they can get what they want and get to driving it, and then if get the one maybe that's not exactly what you want, and then go ahead and put in an order that you're willing to wait a couple of years for if you want it exactly what you want, and know that it could take a little longer, whatever. But yeah.
Tahoe Traveler asks, why so few two-doors built? Is the roof the only constraint?
I probably would. I'd assume it's probably the roof, but
There are so many
I
two doors
can't
here,
think
though.
of
There's a
Have you
lot,
noticed
yeah.
that yet? The whole
half
place
of,
is packed with them.
half of our new orders were orders.
Wow.
And I know Ford gave us a number of here's how many that you should schedule, not do any more than that. But when people are putting in orders, I mean, it's hard to say, okay, we can't. So then they got to look for another dealer, and that dealer's like, no, we can't. And this dealer, but what's happening is you're going to have dealers out there that have, like for us, we have more than what our capacity is, and we know that. But then you're going to have dealers out there that are under because they didn't take them. And what if their production ends up ramping up more than what they thought it would, then you're gonna, because if you look in the news information we have now is that what their capacity is for two-door, that's how many orders they have, almost to the T. So there are dealers that probably we're over. So there's got to be dealers out there that are under, and within that region, some of those dealers may get more than what they originally were being told that they're going to get. It's more of a guide and an estimate. It's not a concrete number, so they need to take that with, what it is. So
Now, switching topics a little bit away from Bronco and just more my own curiosity, and we've talked about it a little bit, and dealers, because you work in, that's your day-to-day. Where do you see the future of dealers going? Any predictions, any thoughts? There's this debate between the fully online direct-to-consumer model versus dealers with this rise in electrification and dealers having to adapt or get kind of pushed to the wayside. Where do you see this going? What are your thoughts and opinions on it, if any?
Dealers aren't going anywhere. I mean, Ford knows that they're there to support them. The service centers, they're like Allie's coming in pretty soon. She's from a dealer. We're there to consult and help customers out. Are there some dealers that maybe are not the best, and maybe dealerships like us and Allie's are good ones? Find those good dealers, but Ford needs those dealers. I'm not a big fan of Tesla, and I won't be afraid to say it. But if you get a Tesla vehicle, you do it completely online, and if you don't know how to work something, you can't get a hold of anybody.
Yeah.
They're not going to answer you. But a Ford, they'll help you, and they'll work with you, and they'll teach you how to use your vehicle. And Ford knows that's the success for them, even on the EVs, is going to be the dealers. So they're not going anywhere. Now, being able to mesh that with an online, like right now, we know pretty soon the order banks will probably open up for the Lightning to be like it is with the Mach-E, where you can either order it online with a choice of a dealer or with a dealer. You're going to be able to do one or the other, because there are some customers that for us on the Lightning, they're like, I don't know what I'm doing, just order it for me.
Yeah.
This is what I want, and then just do it, because I don't know what I'm doing on the computer.
What do you think about that hybrid model? Because obviously that's kind of what they did for Bronco a bit, reservations to orders. It was kind of a hybrid of, hey, go online and order or reserve, and then we'll process your order later. We saw how that worked, or didn't work, I should say. Do you think that hybrid model will eventually get better, or do you think kind of dealer inventory and the majority of sales being just on dealer lot inventory is kind of the way to go?
Well, I think we're going to see, when there's an introduction to a new model, we're going to see that reservation, like with Bronco, Lightning, even Mach-E. But once they are able to ramp up to production, then it's going to go to like what we're seeing now. So I
guess then you throw allocation in the mix, and it kind of muddies that up too.
And that's the difficult part. Even Bronco Sport, I think you're going to be able to do an online order now, if you want to, like a Mach-E. So you can do it online if you want. Still choose your dealer. I think so.
It's only part of the product lineup, not all of it.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably try to eventually move around.
I know they attempted it 4 or 5 years ago. They were testing some online order program. I don't think it ended up going anywhere, or maybe it's gone through 15 iterations since then.
Well,
but
the original Mach-E one was not great, but I think they really did a lot better job on the Lightning. So they learned, they tried to adapt.
Do you have a Lightning, correct?
Yes.
And we talked about EVs 2 weeks ago, and I shared my thoughts. What do you living with the Lightning? What do you think? Thoughts on it?
I love mine.
Do you?
And it's not for everybody. There are people out there that it won't work if it's your daily driver. Like for me, I love it. It is a fabulous vehicle to drive. It's great. I don't have to worry about the maintenance. A lot of the maintenance. Moving parts. It's a great built vehicle, and I leave the house with a full tank of gas.
So you're an EV
I am.
Okay.
I am. I have been for years. Some people don't remember this, but there was a Focus Electric.
Yes.
Ford won't even probably admit they made one, but
That
they
thing
did.
was
I almost bought one.
Oh,
yeah.
it was jarring. It had a really ugly paint color too.
I think though, what I'd like to see is more plug-in hybrids. I think that is the pure mix, because you can go full electric, make it a smaller battery. You can drive 20, 30 miles. That's your commuter. But then if you want to go out of town, you don't have to get a different vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd love to see more of that, because if you took that, I've kind of joked about Ram making that huge battery electric vehicle truck they're going to have.
Yeah, 400 or 500
you
miles.
You can make two Lightnings for every Ram. So who's going to have the production numbers, Ford or Ram?
We'll see.
So we'll have to, but
I am
also
very
how many
curious to
plugins
see how
would
the
you go?
OEMs ramp up electric production, because they've been struggling massively. I mean, Q1 for all the big OEMs was, So I am very curious to see, especially in the full-size truck race, because Ford obviously has a little bit of a head start. Well, they're the only ones who make a full-size electric truck right now, because Rivian, I guess, is more mid-size truck. But once Cybertruck hits the road, and the Ram and the Silverado and stuff, I'm very curious to see how that race goes.
Yeah. And, with all these manufacturers, trying to compete with everybody, it's only going to help the customers. The customers are going to win.
100%.
Because then, every dealer's got to do, every manufacturer's got to do better, and that's how we're going to win from that. So,
a couple people asking, I know you don't have any information, but EV Bronco, you have Bronco, kind of like Jeep 4xe. I think that's a natural next step.
Matt would say. So.
Yeah.
Can't
comment
comment on
on
any future problems.
No,
but we know as
but
dealers.
I guess more your thoughts or opinions on the possibility of one.
A lot of the off-road community is not really that big of a fan of the electrification.
That's true. Very true.
A plug-in or a hybrid.
Yeah.
I could see. And Ford claims that every vehicle they're going to have a electrification, like either hybrid or plug-in hybrid, or an electric version of it. I don't think we'll ever see a full electric Bronco. They're struggling with production on the plug-ins right now.
Yeah.
Maybe a hybrid. But even hybrid, look at the Maverick. They're not able to keep production on those either. So
well, that's what, and I talked about this on our EV talk the other week, and I'll get off the EV topic before all you in the chat burn me. But like in Moab, all the hotels, or most of them now, have EV chargers, and every time I go now, there's more and more Rivians and 4xe plugged in. So it's very plausible that you can go and off-road most of the day. If you're not doing any super long trails on battery power, then again, you can drive back to wherever you are without having to change cars.
Yeah, like I said, plug-in. I think
I did see a giant rock crawler being towed behind a Rivian to Moab, which I thought was really interesting.
I mean, when you think about it, if we take a Lightning that has a 131 kilowatt battery, how many plugins can we build with that? A lot more. So
is it really 131 kilowatt hour battery?
Extended. Yeah.
Is it that much? So. For some reason, I thought it was like 90.
But by the way, I can drive my Lightning as far as I can drive my Bronco before filling up or charging.
Well, yeah. What real-world range are you getting? Are you seeing the 300? Yeah.
When it's warm out, I can get. Of course, I fly out of Kansas City when I go on trips.
Okay.
It's 200 miles, and I can drive there and charge on the charger at the airport and drive back. And
what kind of range are you left with when you get to the airport after 200 miles?
Usually 60, 70 miles. So I'm getting close to 280.
Okay.
People realize speed kills.
Yeah.
So you have to be willing to be okay with going 70. I think 65, 70 is the good number. If you go 75, you're going to start losing.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to learn. I mean, there's education to be on that.
It's certainly a change, adaptation.
Charging's a lot faster. I mean, you can charge them up. They're starting to get a lot faster, especially if you can get an electrified.
That higher voltage architecture, that 800 is going to change things a lot too.
Yeah. So
fantastic. Well, Laura, anything else from you?
Thank you for being on here. We're just excited to share you with the community, with our community, since we already do a vast majority
we
of
talk to each other online, but we've never actually met Tim in person before.
So great to have you here.
We know you've had a really long day of driving.
Go on off-roading with you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Awesome.
Right, thanks,
we'll get
Tim.
some video of it.
Perfect.
So.
Great to see you, Tim. Get some rest. We know you guys had a marathon trip here, but we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks, Tim.